Says,
Hey,
yes. Here we are, everyone.
remember, kids?
Eat pussy. It's organic. Was that a good pitch? Should we
That
try
was a
again?
really good pitch. That
Just
was a really good pitch.
Thank
I
you.
bought it. I would have bought it immediately.
Oh,
Where's that
amazing. Well,
pussy?
where's the
Just
eat the
kidding.
pussy? Where's the pussy? We need to eat it. 25.99. In fact, it's more than that. So
25.99.
pay out more, please.
It's on sale.
In fact, it's free for me, but millions for you. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone. Aubrey and I took a little break because Aubrey was moving and Rebecca was traveling. And we have had a nice discussion about life and
Transition.
transition and being changed from experiences without needing to know why. And it's just been
Mm-hmm.
so lovely.
Getting what you
So,
asked from the
right,
universe in the
right.
form that you didn't expect.
Snap, snap, snap
Gotta
for
love
that
that.
one. She provides. Yep.
So I drew a word.
Oh, you
Oh,
did? Okay, great. What is it?
came out. Introspection.
Ha 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 ha. Okay. Imagine we pull the hermit card. Just kidding. Okay, let's see. That's what that would be. But let's see. Let's see what there it goes. Ooh, I think we got this one before, but this also makes sense almost with what we were saying. I love this. Okay, it's on the floor.
What is it?
It is the Knight of Pentacles. And in my deck, I designed it
Hmm.
to be a beautiful, gorgeous woman.
We have not got this before.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, I've been getting this lots lately. Maybe then.
Hmm.
Oh, we didn't. I love this. Okay, wait, I have to write down the things as well. So we have
Introspection.
introspection. Oh my gosh. Night. Oh my gosh. Creating
What's it
magic. I
called? The
love
Knight of what?
pentacles. So pentacles, I'll put it on the screen. I know it's backwards for you, but Ntacle. Oh, it's not? Oh, great. So pentacle energy is earth energy, which is slower energy, slower, which is so interesting going with the word introspection, moving
Mhm.
slowly, moving earth like in an earthy way, which to me means integrating all parts of the soil, all parts of earth. There's freaking trees there. Like it's integrating all of the parts as you're moving. And there is that
Mhm.
slowness to moving. Now, the cool thing too about the Knight of Pentacles is it does talk a bit about movement with the Knight. And even it's moving slow, it's moving intentional, and it's also moving like in wealthy ways
What
that,
does that
where
mean?
you're moving into wealth, but you're also, to me, moving in wealthy ways. And it does have this idea with this card of essentially creating more wealth. And wealth to me can mean multiple different things. It doesn't have to only be money, but pentacles
Yeah.
can be related to money,
I
which
see.
also let's leave
Interesting.
that there in the space too, you know?
Yeah. Well, I also think of when you think of moving in wealthy ways, I think of if I were to use a different word for wealthy, it would be like fulfilling ways. Like
Ooh.
moving in fulfilling ways because when you're fulfilled, you're wealthy,
Yeah. And when you're
your
moving in
soul is
fulfilling
wealthy.
ways, yeah, it also pays off in multiple ways when you move through fulfillment.
Pays off. Get it?
Pay me, pay me. Just kidding. Oh my
I
gosh.
love it. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Thank you for explaining that because had no idea
Mhm.
what the word pentacles meant.
Definitely. Like tarot is cool that way too, because it's like a little book of like, whoa, what does this mean? So beautiful. And I also, because for me, images
Yes.
they also partake in the conversation and the feeling. The the way that this woman is sitting is like she's in, speaking of sensual, she's in her like sensual element, but she's also in her, and I'm curious to see what you think too. She's in her like queen era. She knows her worth. So it's almost like to me, she's starting to move for the message that for this too, she's starting to move in her worth, moving
Mm,
with her worth. And to me, that is a significant portion of the wealth that is in
mm.
this podcast episode,
Yeah,
which, yeah,
I see like I'm just gonna name a few different things. Like I
yeah.
like even just how the lighting is. So she's sitting with her hands in between her legs, like
Mhm.
on a bench, you could maybe, and her legs are just a little bit open and her shoulders are kind of like scrunched in, but her chin is really high. and her neck is like nice and open. So it's like this posture of like speak like my when you say your queen era, right? Like my voice is going to be heard, my throat is like open, which is also
Mm.
very vulnerable to have your throat just kind of open, right? It's a vulnerable thing. And then there's like how the lighting is in it. There's like a shadowy space where her hands are. If you go down towards her pelvis, which I find also kind of interesting. I don't really know what if it has a meaning to me or anything at this moment, but yeah, she's quite attractive, not gonna lie.
She's friggin' beautiful. Yeah. Like, wow. And
Wow.
that's also like we emanate, she's emanating her inner beauty too to me. She's
Hmm.
beautiful. And a part of it for me is because she's emanating her inner beauty and I don't want to say owning it. I think that's like almost too strong of a word for this for some reason in this
Hmm.
reading. It's like yeah, she is owning it, but it's like a natural ownership or no, that terrible word. I hate that word. But there's like a
Um,
naturalness to embodying
hmm.
is a much better word, like her beauty. And people are beautiful not only because of their outer looks, but because of what's going on inside.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful card.
Introspection too. Like that's, inner beauty,
Dude.
introspection.
Well, when you said it was funny when you said earth and slow. So I'm an earth
Mm,
sign. I'm a Virgo, and I don't really
mm.
know much about like zodiac signs and things like that. And then when you said slow, I was like, okay, well, this is like the definition of introspection to me is moving and thinking in a way that is could be seen as slow, maybe comparatively to how we operate in the world typically. Because the slowness is like one of the most important things in my experience when it comes to gaining access to that introspection, right? Like if you think about let's say you're at a theme park, like a roller coaster theme park, and you're on a roller coaster and it's going around and around and around. How much more difficult is it going to be to be thinking about something specific, about something deeply when you're on this roller coaster? As opposed to maybe, yeah, just all you're thinking about is how your stomach feels, how much
Don't
fun
puke,
you're
don't puke,
having.
don't puke, don't puke. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. As
Uh,
opposed to like if you were even, let's say you're still in the theme park, but you're just walking slowly, right? So there's still stuff moving very quickly around you. People are yelling, give me, I want cotton candy. Kids are screaming. People are getting big, giant stuffed animals, but you're just walking quietly,
mm,
slowly by yourself. How much easier is it going to be introspective in
mm.
that moment, as opposed to if you were, on a roller coaster or something?
Which is
Um,
great and fun and playful and go for it if that's your tone. And I think a really big thing that's coming forward in terms of shifts, not only within ourselves, which is a significant portion of this, of course, also within like the world and how there's a lot of stuff changing. There's a lot of stuff getting exposed. There's a lot of uncomfortable things. There's a lot of terrible things. And there's also really great things. Yes. And I would say an overarching tone is what the fuck is going on right now. And
mm,
the noticing that you're talking about being that reference of the theme park, that if the world for you is feeling like that, and I can tell you from even traveling and meeting many international people, it's noticed that the world is uncomfortable and not great and things are getting
right.
exposed. It's noticed, it's talked about. I've traveled for years and decades and stuff, and it that didn't get talked about before. And now
Mm.
everyone is essentially generally talking about it. And I think that a really powerful tool, sort of irregardless of what you think or what people think, or like a really powerful tool to navigating life, chaos, change, the world, other people, someone yelling at you. I hope you get hit. Like a good way to navigate these things is to notice. And when you were mentioning the theme park and you walk slow as an example, or very like articulate or something, or just within yourself, or however you want to embody what you were talking about, like it's that feeling of that noticing that I think is really important right
Hmm.
now for many people on an individual level as well as a more global level. There's a lot of confusing things going on in the world right now. There's a lot of like how is this even happening or what have you, right? And this has always been happening in the world, yes. And is it more exposed? Sure, yeah. Like, yeah, we can argue about those things or talk about those things all day. And I think we can if we want to. Sure, let's do it. But the thing that's standing out to me with the introspection and Knight of Pentacles is that element of being so tuned in with yourself and moving kind of slowly to see what do I like, where do I fit? What do I need? Like, what
Yeah.
do you
What do
know?
I
And like,
believe? What do
yeah,
I
and
think?
yeah, and what's going on around me and this is kind of possibly controversial and something we can talk about. Does this stuff have to affect me the way that it does?
Yeah.
And sometimes I say yes. If it affects you, then yeah, then it's there for a reason. Like let it affect you and
Hmm.
let it give you information and let it move you. And can we hold that and a different relationship too, where we go, I'm with it, I see it, I understand it, and I'm not going to let it necessarily overtake my nervous
Entire
system.
day.
And when I'm in that space of inner noticing and outer noticing, I feel like for me and what I'm hearing and noticing and learning, especially in my spiritual journey too, and just life, is that when we're in this state of oneness with ourself, let's call it, holy shit, you can see more, you know yourself more, you're less concerned, not concerned, you're less affected, less brainwashed. I don't know what the hell to call it. You're less like
Yeah.
something from the outer world. It's not that it's not happening, and it's not that you're not being ignorant or not partaking. You're moving from slowness and stillness and
Yeah. You're in
introspection
more
and
control of your
centeredness.
own permeation of what's coming
Hmm.
into you and what's not coming into you. And that affects the collective, right? Like I think really the
Yes.
only way to like change the world, right, is to do it for yourself. Like you got to do your own backyard. And
Hmm.
then from that example, other people will shift in their ways. I was telling this story yesterday in my women's circle that when I was at the end of my corporate era and I knew that I wanted to leave, but I wasn't quite sure like what I was going to do, but I knew that I wouldn't work there for very long, much longer. I was learning these different tools to regulating my nervous system. And in the office space that I worked, it was like these bright fluorescent lights, and I was like, I just feel like those suck. And so towards the end of my time, I brought in a lamp from home and I would have my lights off in my office and the lamp on.
Hmm.
And that was just helpful for me. Like I wasn't taking a nap in there. It was much easier for me to do my work in that environment. And what the interesting thing is, was that I did this for me. I did it for my own nervous system, for my own ways of feeling comfortable, and how what would happen is anytime someone would enter my office, because I'd have my direct reports come in and ask me something or whatever, immediately they would start to whisper. They would walk in and go, "Hi, do you have a moment?" Everybody. Like instead of coming in and just talking at their normal volume, every single person from that moment on came in and they would whisper immediately. And I thought it was so fascinating because I did this thing for my own nervous system to help me. And the way that it affected other people was so interesting and how they interacted with me. And so it changed this behavior of my coworkers in a way that I wasn't even expecting. To their interaction with me kind of started as a whisper. And like at first it was just entertaining. And I would tell them, you don't have to whisper if you don't want to. And they're like, okay, okay. And then we would start to have, but it was so interesting to like start a conversation with a whisper. And yeah, so just tying that to, if we want to change the world, you got to start with yourself. And then that will
Hmm.
change how people interact with you. And then that might be like, that's interesting that she's doing that. I wonder what that would be like for me in my life, and then it's just like a domino effect. So
Exactly. Yeah, because it can sometimes, I know for myself, it was overwhelming. Like, how do I do this? How do I show up?
yeah.
This hurts. It's painful. And I don't know if we talked about this yet. To remind me if we did here in this space. But I talked to one of my friends who his family is in Israel and has been going through lockdowns
Wow.
daily for years now.
Hmm.
And I talked to him and I said, I feel guilty I feel
Mhm.
guilty. I feel wrong. I feel scared. I feel, am I not, I just all the things. I feel it.
Yep.
I feel it. And I said to him, like, he's an artist and so am I. And I said, so I can't remember exactly how it went, but I basically asked, like, is it okay to still be happy? Is it okay to create? Is it
Yeah.
okay? Like, is the world,
Hmm.
is that really like okay to do right now? And he
Mm.
said, he talked to his sister, and it's like the things that she needs is kind of, and I don't want to speak for everyone, and I don't even want
Yeah.
to speak for her, but it was like she needs normalcy, she needs love, she needs laughter, she needs life. And
Yeah.
like she needs you and she needs all of us to not like stop our lives, not get bogged down by all this bullshit. She
Can't be in
needs
a
you to
state of fear
live.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I found, and that was so helpful for me. Holy shit. I was like, for months, I was like, oh my God, I'm
And one
torn.
of, I
Like,
just want to also acknowledge like the vulnerable thing of like being like, hey man, like you're going through this. I'm
mhm,
not going through that. And I have a lot of guilt around this. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? I don't think that
mhm,
you're alone in feeling that way. So I'm just want to
mhm,
commend you for just kind of sharing that out loud because I think a lot of particularly Americans or like Western people probably
mhm.
feel that way. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for that. And I do recognize living in the States and Canada even is an
Yeah.
interesting time, especially in the States, because I'm from Canada and I live in the States, and you can also feel it globally as well, that it is
Hmm.
noticed that there's a high partaking of the stuff from the United States. You know what I mean? So, anyways, it was a weird thing for me. But yeah, so it was really like beep beep. It was really special to have that moment and to almost like connect to his sister through him in that moment and to more of what I don't know what like
What's going to be
many
helpful
people
for
are.
humanity right
Yeah,
now.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and then I personally found like because I also want to make sure that it's integrated for me too, that I don't just go cool, that's truth, awesome. So I sat with it and
Right,
I said,
right.
okay, like, how do I do this? Introspection, moving slow. I'm going to give myself the space to feel. I don't want to be, there's zero part of me that wants to be ignorant. I'm not an ignorant person, but also I can't, like, a lot of times I don't watch a lot of news. I can watch it and I have a good relationship with the
Sure.
news now, but before, like, I couldn't watch
Boundaries
it.
are
It
needed
was
though.
too much. Right, definitely. And there's also like so much
100%.
bullshit now, too, that you're like, we
Yeah.
don't even know what's real
Like,
anymore.
this
We
isn't
don't.
important for me to know.
Yeah. We don't know what's real. We don't know what's right. We don't know who's right. No one's right. Fucking no one's right. Nothing's right. Nothing's working right now. Great. Okay. So having a level of understanding and a level of like, I don't know how to explain this, but spiritually, I can still have a level of openness to it in way of being aware and embodying love, care, play, humor,
Yeah.
creation, joy. And it was so helpful to have that like secondhand experience, I guess, of, and it's not that I needed permission, but kind of like I honestly feel like I put myself in a place where I needed permission to still be playful. I needed
Yep.
permission. And so then really I gave myself the
Yep.
permission because he was
Yeah.
going, well, you should be doing this. Like, what are you talking about? Kind of thing in
Hmm.
a really beautiful
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah. Again,
yeah.
if you go back to the collective, right? Like if we
Mhm.
all do a small shift to like become more aware or become more kind, right? It has a ripple effect. Similarly though, if we all stay in our fear and we operate from that place, that will
Mhm.
also have a ripple effect. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, I
Mhm.
appreciate your friend being so honest
Right?
with you.
I
Yeah, that's
know.
really wonderful.
And I
Yeah.
love him dearly, and he's just so sweet. So I was like, he's not gonna bullshit you. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
not gonna bullshit
Yeah.
you. He's
Those
gonna
friends are the
give.
best.
If he was like, you're being an absolute ass, Rebecca, get your fucking shit together, he would say it. So like, it was
Gotta
just
have
so
friends like that, man. I literally
definitely.
told one of my girlfriends from college the other day, I was like, man, I love having you in my life because you will call me out on my shit no matter fucking
I
what. And
think it's
she's
the
like,
most refreshing
thank
thing
you. I was like, no,
ever.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was a compliment.
I think it's so refreshing because then you like, I don't know. I just think it's so refreshing because
Yeah, man.
yeah, I
You
just
gotta
think
get
it's
your bubble popped every once in a while so you can
hell
be like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah, oh yeah.
because I also wrote down, so you were talking about awareness. So I wrote, I feel like if you're if you're new to introspection, if you're unfamiliar, like how do I be introspective? Like awareness is a great like access point, you know? And one of the ways that I practice being aware is writing. Like I'm a huge
Mm.
journaler. I read in the book the other day that this woman who was a big journaler as well, she said, I think I've experienced life twice over. Like once when I experience it, and then once when I write about the
Ooh.
experience. And I feel like that's so, so true. Like I will experience something in my life, and then I will experience it very differently sometimes when I write about that experience because I can see from a different lens when I'm writing. And that's, I think, in my definition I would put in with introspection. Like that's really all it is like seeing something from maybe a different lens. And the amount of wealth in that is insane. Like
Uh-huh.
you
Uh-huh.
become the wealthiest person
Yeah.
when you can see any situation from a variety of perspectives because you become such an understanding person, not just outwardly, but inwardly as well. And yeah, in my opinion, I think we're all kind of battling our own inner shit, right? Like for me, it's a critic and a perfectionist,
Mm.
version of me that really likes to take over when it's unnecessary. And I'm
Mm.
sure for other people, it's something else. But that introspection allows you to like sit with those parts and kind of understand them a little bit more. And the wealth that comes from that is just, it's kind of priceless in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to say, like it's one of the coolest feelings, and I almost wish, like I want to find an even better word, but I'm just gonna, it's the coolest experience to have those moments where with like what you're talking about, I'm so wrapped up in the feeling of it. Like it's so wealthy, it's so cool, it's powerful, it's all the things. I like all the words don't do it any justice. When you have that moment of wealth with yourself, holy fuck. Like it changes it changes everything. It changes the way you move. It changes the way you see things. It changes the way you see society. It changes the way you see your name. It changes everything. And it's really, I don't know, from my experience personally, it's almost outwardly, it's like almost not mine, but I'm living it and it's so cool at the same time. Like it's unreal.
What do you,
Uh,
can you elaborate on that? But
yeah.
when you said it's almost not, it's like it's not mine.
So I would say spiritually, it
Oh,
doesn't feel like mine. I guess it feels, I know we might even come from different backgrounds of beliefs and spirituality, with it's all interconnected anyways, which is so beautiful. And I think that, which also anyone listening, embody it or reject it in your own way. But it feels like I'm living in an outer energy, an outer awareness that feels, gosh, how do you explain this? I don't know how to explain this. I feel more connected to like the cosmos and like
yeah, like
viewing and having
expansive.
that awareness. Yeah. It feels peaceful. It feels powerful. It feels calm. It feels all knowing.
Mm,
And I truly
hmm.
believe we all have access. We all
Yeah,
we
me
all have
too.
access. It's a remembering of that. Our
Yeah.
lives are a remembering of that, whether it's through
Mm,
God or energy or what, all
whatever
of
you
these.
call it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a remembering of how all knowing and powerful we all are. And this introspection Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is earth. It's very human. It's very like body. And it's to me those moments of awareness or that interconnectedness. Like it's so
It kind of like it's
like
almost like it brings you away from the material and into the realm of like consciousness a little bit, which is not as material. And like so like
consciousness.
yeah, like the Knight of Pentacles is like, okay, this is us in our earthly form. This is how we
Mhm.
experience the human experience in this way. And then introspection gives us that access to like consciousness around the material. So it's kind of like a connection of the immaterial and material, maybe.
You nailed it. I
Yes.
literally was envisioning punching pillows. You had it so good. Like,
I love it when that happens in our podcast. I feel like if we're punching the air, you know that we
we
did
have
it.
done something successfully. We have
We did
landed on
it. We
something.
figured it out. Figured out the world.
Yeah. Another word that's coming up, I don't know if we're moving here yet or not, but the word presence and it's just like
Hmm.
trickling its cute little self into this conversation. I'm not sure where or how yet. I
Yeah.
think, I think this conscious energy, one way we can experience that or live that or embody that or practice that is through presence. And presence, like, it doesn't require awareness, but kind of like it requires an awareness.
Yeah, I definitely think it does.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a lot harder to be present than we than we think it is, you know? Like our minds are built for looking forward to things
Totally.
because that's how we survive, you know? It's like, all right, if we do this, then this might happen, then this might happen. Are we going to be okay if this happens? Okay, but what about this? And so like that's how our mind works. It's
We're
built for
really good at
survival.
that.
Yeah. And thank you. Thank you, mind, for keeping me
Yeah.
alive. Dude, it's fantastic. It's also the reason why we can be introspective is because our minds are so magnificent. I mean, we don't even
Mhm.
know we still don't understand, you know, how the brain and how the mind works, you know, fully. So thank you for keeping us alive. But I think it is really difficult sometimes to just be in the present moment. That's why I talk about the breath so much in a lot of my work. The
Mm.
breath is that's like my go-to tool for coming into the present moment, even if it's just for like 2 seconds. It's like I'm there. I'm here
Mhm.
for 5 seconds or for however long this breath is going to be, you know?
I love that. I love that you can also, for people listening to, I love that you can access that anywhere. One of my
Hmm.
things, and it's not necessarily coming from inside, but it gives me presence immediately, is nature. Any,
Yes.
anywhere I am, I could look at a rock and be like, wow, I'm here. Ah,
Dude, I got
yeah.
my Knox next to me because
Binoculars,
I'm a
yeah.
bird, you know, I'm a birder. And
Mm-hmm.
bird watching is like brings me right into the present moment. It's funny, a friend told me that. I didn't actually come to that conclusion
Aw.
myself, but I was hiking with a friend and I was like, "Hey, like we haven't hiked in a while and like I'm like really into birds now, so our hike, I'm gonna stop like in mid-conversation and probably look at a bird and you're just gonna have to be okay with that." Like I might be talking, you might be talking, I don't know, but
There's
that
a
will
bird.
probably happen. And she's like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I was like, yeah. And then like later on our hike, she was like, you know, I think bird watching is really, really good for you. And I was like, yeah, why do you say that? And she's like, it brings you right into the present moment. Did you notice that? And I never did. And now I'm like, it does though. It's so nice. So yeah, nature, huge. Or just staring at a rock. Absolutely. The
That's
amount of
also it.
times I have done
You
that in my
you
life.
you can access it. Oh, my rocks aren't with me. Like I literally had a rock, not even a crystal, but like a rock. And
Mm-hmm.
like you can I guess you can access it anywhere if you really
Yeah.
want to or need to. But yeah, I think like presence is a really good way to embody what we're talking about. And also it's so weird because I do have some things within my work of practicing presence. Like I actually have some, I can't even remember them right now. They're on my healing hub, but like I have exercises to practice presence. And it's not
Mm.
that it's almost you like how do you practice presence? You actually kind of can't. But at the same time, there are things that we can think of or try. Oh, I just never thought about it. Like you said, our minds are not only built for survival, thank you, thank goodness, and also our society has capitalized on that.
Hmm.
And so I think it's more than anything like breaking down the barriers to even be like, what does that even mean to me? And
Yeah.
so I do have some
Yeah.
things where you can practice presence. I have like one of my books is on presence, and it's
So
like
where can
present
people find these
on
tools?
my healing hub or any of my sites. Rebecca'sHealingHub.com
Yes,
is
there it
a big
is.
one. Thank you.
Oh
And then
yeah. It's got
also,
lots of tools on there.
yeah, lots of tools. Lots of tools, lots of things, free, all paid, all the things. And what's so funny is I don't have my books on there. But anyways, that's fine. I will fix that later. Any of my socials, you'll see all the links for everything as well at Rebs the Recca. So, anyways, presence, like, and even bringing it back to the card, and it's not even that presence requires introspection, but it's almost that it happens hand in hand, or like there's a togetherness I find.
Hmm.
If I was to explain that
Yeah.
relationship, it sort of is like a natural introspection is a natural process. But the coolest part about presence is you're also, like we're talking about, you're highly aware And
Hmm.
it's like beautifully aware. Like it's like you're absolutely aware of everything going on. And there's magic. Like for me in presence, time slows down.
I
Like,
just wrote down time.
shut up. That's so, it's almost a way, like, this is like, it's almost a way to manipulate time for yourself and give yourself
Yeah.
the time. Is presence
Yeah.
truly to me, like, I can see the air particles more. You can notice
Well,
the way, like, wind, I don't know. Yeah.
and I think that's the hardest part for people is the time aspect, like taking
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
time because
I find that so
our,
fucked up. You're so right. And I just like,
I
oh,
mean, I know,
I
but
wish we weren't
I
taught
can think of
this.
like, I can think of like three like really strong, amazing women in my life right now
Yeah.
who are just busybodies. They
Yeah.
would never take the time or have a hard time taking the time to
Mm-hmm.
just sit and be either in the present or be with themselves. Think about like, how are they feeling right now? How does
Mm-hmm.
their body feel right now?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in your mind right now? Like some
Mm-hmm.
of these things, that's how you can practice introspection by like tuning into these different parts of you, your mind, your feelings, your body. Honestly, that's like my morning check-in right there. Is yeah, usually within the first hour of the day after I wake up, I'm sitting down writing, okay, how does my body feel right now? And sometimes I'll kind of like do like some movements to like figure out, oh, I'm a little tight here, whatever. When I'm menstruating, my boobs are like super heavy and tender all the time. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
interesting feeling that. And then I'll go down the list. Okay, what about my mind? Does it feel like it's racing this morning? Because sometimes I'll wake up with just like idea after idea, right? And then sometimes it's like really chill and I'm just kind of like, And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like, how am I emotionally feeling? Like, what's happening in my life right now? And so, like, just taking 10 minutes to do that is the wealth that you get from that is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. But it can be difficult if maybe you have a habit of staying really busy,
Mm.
or if that's what you think that you're supposed to do all the time. Or
I
maybe
have a
you
word.
don't want to face some things. Maybe you're
Right.
avoiding. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I also love slow mornings. Like that is something for me that I have like
Oh yeah.
even sometimes I have a boundary. Like I want to say that I have a boundary set over that where my
Hmm.
mornings are slow. Unless I'm traveling into nature and I'll get up at 3 a.m. and go so fast and be so excited and roll in the dirt as soon as I can.
Yeah, that's a little
That's what I want.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like slow mornings are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a boundary set around
And
that
actually,
because
can we
that's
pause here
time.
for a little bit? Can we
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about this? Because I think
Yeah.
we're both entrepreneurs, and
Mm.
I don't know exactly who our audience is going to be, but some of you might be entrepreneurs. So some of you
Mm.
might be thinking about becoming one or having your own business or something. And it took me like 2 years to figure out that I could I could take a slow morning because I was
Mm-hmm.
used to like,
Mm.
starting my day at 8 a.m., ending it at
Right.
5 and like
Right.
doing that. And so I tried to do that continuously and it didn't work. And so it took me about 2 years to give myself permission to even find something different in the first place. So
Hmm.
right now we're giving you permission that you can do it right away. And I think it's super, super helpful, especially for female entrepreneurs or anybody who has that kind of conditioning to move very quickly or like be super productive. And to be productive, you got to start really early, right when you wake up, because you got to be efficient. If you're a Virgo, if you're a 3 on the Enneagram, you know what I'm talking about. And so I think it's really, really helpful. And I would encourage you to just try it out and see how it works to have a slow morning. Like
Hmm.
give yourself, if you normally wake up at 8 a.m., don't start work until 11 and like
Hmm.
give yourself a few hours to do whatever it is that you want to do and just see
Hmm.
how it feels after like a week or something.
Yeah. And if
Just
you
just
if
an
you are
idea.
in a work setting too where you do the 9 to 5, that's great.
Hmm.
Find your version of that, whether it's a slow night or a slow hour or a slow 15 minutes. You can
Yeah.
move that. And I mean, mornings are great because you're
It's like
like,
the
where the
beginning of the
fuck am
day.
I? I just woke up on Earth
Yeah.
today. What? Like, okay, I need a second. But yeah, you can integrate that. That's the coolest part about
Yeah.
introspection and this inner wealth is you actually can move it with you, like as
Oh
you are
yeah.
now, and you can expand on it, which is also awesome. I think traveling to different areas. I went to Indonesia and then Nicaragua. And first of all, the heat in Nicaragua is unbelievable. So you move slow. But like I thought about it a few times.
Nature's like, yeah, you think you're gonna move
Yeah, yeah.
fast?
Well, that's
Fuck off.
exactly it. And it's like hot in Indonesia too, but that's Indonesia's a bit different. Anyways, my thing that I noticed, and even Africa, we went to Africa, like I noticed things where I was like, people don't really like people like don't start things till like society in some places. I'm not going to speak for all of all three places, but generally I was like, wow, things move slower. Oh my God, people start later. Oh my God, they stop work. Oh my God, they're just like sitting on their phone doing nothing in the middle of the day and shit still gets done. Huh. Like what are we taught over here? And there's another thing about it.
Grind, grind,
Well,
grind,
that's exactly
grind.
it. And there's something here that this is a multi-layered word, and I will describe as best as I can overperforming. And I think the two layers that are standing out most are the society aspect of overperforming, yes, in North American culture, possibly, and womanhood. Holy shit. Like moving through the decades that we've been moving through and how there's more awareness of our power. There's also more awareness of the inequalities and and all the things and overperforming to be as good as or to be worthy of or to be worthy of love or worthy of a raise or worthy of a man or worthy of this or worthy of holy fuck. And I think that on a societal level too, the overperforming, like we are taught that, just
For sure.
it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in the commercials. It's
Oh yeah.
in, there's this one debt commercial that I don't remember what company, but it's like, pay off your debt so then you can renovate your kitchen. And I'm like, so you can go into more fucking debt? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like,
Dude,
pardon me?
if you wanna go from zero to Rage Machine, just watch commercials. Like they make it
Especially in
be
the States, because it's all like
so
drugs too. You're
bad.
not good enough.
Oh
You're
yeah.
fat.
It's
Like,
all prescription
you're this. Like,
medications.
holy
Uh-huh.
fuck, you can die. By the way, did you know
Like,
you could
by the
die?
way, symptoms include losing a limb, your face might peel off, and your soul's gonna
So
disembody
weird.
from you.
And it's so
But you won't
normal
have allergies
here.
anymore.
And guess what? None of your healthcare is free either.
Yeah, man,
Didn't.
commercials are the worst.
Oh
They
my
are
gosh, it's
literally the
wild.
worst.
They're bad everywhere, maybe sure, yeah, because they're technically stealing something that we don't need or want. But either way, like wow. So I don't know. I kind of veered off, and I think that it also like, showing this card again, to
Hmm.
me, this woman is not overperforming. She's like,
No.
if I'm moving slow, I'm moving slow because I fucking want to, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I like
And
that she's in kind of more in a, you could say an erotic position, right? She looks like she
hmm
could be in an erotic position, but
hmm
she's fully clothed. Like she's not
hmm
showing any of her erotic
hmm
bits, if you
Right.
will, right? And
Right.
so again, it's kind of like I'm in this position because I want to be, you
Yeah.
know, I'm not going to
Yeah.
perform really for
Yeah.
you. And
I love that.
performances, dude, I'm so glad you brought that word in
Mm.
because I didn't realize how much performing was going on in my life without introspection. Like without going in
Oh,
and
I see.
actually
Mm.
understanding why I'm behaving the way that I am or why
Mm.
I'm doing certain things the way that I'm doing them. Like that is introspection, asking yourself these questions. And yeah, probably until about I don't know, 4 years ago or so. Like I had no idea the depth,
Holy,
the how
right?
deeply rooted that need, that belief
Totally.
that I need to be a certain way
Yeah.
to, get love or be deserving of whatever.
By
Most of
myself, I
those
was
ways were
overperforming.
performing. Yeah.
Like
Oh
I was
yeah.
overperforming by myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, take your top hat off. It's fine.
Take your top hat off.
Your tap shoes
It's
you can keep on
fine.
if you really want to. The top hat,
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah, dude.
it.
It's so interesting. And you
Yeah.
know what? It's it's an automatic thing now.
Mhm.
So I'm sure some of you can relate to what we're saying. You probably learned how to be a certain way as a child, and then as you grew up, that was like your, okay, this is the mask I'm gonna wear when I'm in this crowd. This is the mask I'm gonna wear when I'm in this crowd. And there's nothing wrong with blending in and adapting in that way. Like, I'm like, I don't know if you've heard of like code switching, like that's something that I
Oh
do in like
no.
It's like when you change the way that you talk depending on the type of people that you're around. Like
Oh,
when I'm around my Black family, I talk a little bit differently. And that's
oh.
just something that has naturally always happened. And then I learned the word code switching like a few years ago, and that's how that's described what that is.
Cool.
So I don't think there's anything wrong inherently with, adapting to your,
Exactly. That's
different
like
friend groups and stuff.
adaptation. It's survival. It's also fun and playful. It's
Right.
layered.
It can be
Yeah.
playful, exactly. But
Mhm.
what we're talking about is this automatic mask that you put on, like,
Where you're
you
denying
know,
parts of yourself or hiding parts
yeah,
of
or where you're
yourself.
saying
Yeah.
yes when you really want to say no,
Yeah. Yeah.
or you're saying no when you really want to say yes.
Yeah.
And that, because over time has been something that you've built this habit over time, for me, it's automatic. It's like an
Mhm.
automatic thing I'll fall into. And
Mhm.
so the breath, and going back to the pentacles, right? Slowing down when you're in public, slowing down when you're talking to somebody at the grocery store. You can practice it in little tiny ways. Even in this conversation right now, sometimes I'm biting my tongue so that I can just listen to what you're saying and not always, ah, I got something to say. Wait, you said this word. It made me think of this. Like,
Sometimes you can totally do
just
that, by the way.
trust me, I'm pretty good at interrupting people. I've got a lot of practice at it. I'm good at talking. But
Awesome.
there's all these different ways that you can practice like interrupting the automation of performance when you don't want to perform, because
Hmm.
over time it's really exhausting. It's
Hmm.
so exhausting to be somebody that you're really not, and it's way more fun to just be your weird self,
So true.
right?
So true.
So true.
Very true.
I also wrote down another word not related to what
Ooh,
we were
ooh,
talking
ooh,
about.
yeah.
I wrote down relationships in relation to being aware of how you behave and why you behave certain ways is really, really beneficial for any relationships that you go into. I'm kind of speaking of romantic relationships, but it's really any relationships, friendships, professional. But if you understand your own kind of triggers, and if you understand, like, this is why I do this thing, it really helps when you're interacting with other people, for sure.
Mhm.
And it
It
can,
creates like wealth in your relationships and your connections for sure. Having that
yeah,
introspection and that awareness, really. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think that for some, I'll give you an example. For some women, they have a sense of guilt when they don't want to be touched by their partner at
Mhm.
times. And I notice that during certain phases of my cycle, I don't want to be touched by my partner. And there are
Mhm.
other phases when I definitely want to be touched. And there are some phases where I want to be touched in a very specific way. And so it might have been that before I dove into understanding why do I want to be touched this way and not this way on one phase of my cycle and the other, that I would have just thought, man, I'm fucked up, or like I'm not a very good partner, or I'm
Mhm.
not a very good girlfriend because I'm not available, for him or whatever. And now it's kind of like really, really helpful because I understand that, oh yeah, like when I'm menstruating, I just don't really want to be touched as much, and that's
Mhm.
okay. It's
Mhm.
not like the entire month I don't want to be touched, just a few days. And then
Mhm.
I can explain that to my partner and
Mhm.
why I feel that that's important for me. And so now it completely eliminates any stories that might be told in his own head, or any assumptions that either of us might have. And
Mhm.
it's really like, yeah, it's helped our relationship in that way. It's brought wealth to our relationship and
I love
understanding. So
that.
it's like an example. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think even like another layer of that too is if in relationship or life you have like a month where you're just like, I don't want to be touched.
Hmm.
Great, perfect, fantastic. Is there more behind that? Maybe you're feeling icky about yourself. Maybe you're feeling depressed. Maybe you're feeling, fuck it, just don't fucking care about it right now. Great.
Oh,
Like
maybe
validating
you're
that,
going into perimenopause.
right? Well,
It's all those different stages in life. Go ahead.
even not even gender related, like,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
even friendship, you don't want to fucking hug from me right now. Don't fucking sit close to me right now. In a relationship, I don't know why I
Right.
want to have sex and it's been a month. Like, even Yes, especially hormonal, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in general, I think just as a being, I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of that speaks to you too. I think like that introspection and curiosity, compassion, giving those like feelings and voices power, empowerment to like be able to exist, and then being like, do I
Yeah.
want to break it down? Great. There's probably more behind it. Do I care to? No? Great. Also great. Like I think that,
Totally.
you
Yeah.
know, something I wrote down that we were talking about, and I think this embodies both the relationship stuff and also what we were talking about before in terms of like overperforming in
Mm-hmm.
society and whatnot. Just in general, we don't need all the answers now. You said this actually. We don't need all the answers now. The awareness piece, like you said, awareness before, like sometimes awareness is enough. And that's kind of like a really great tool. I don't even
Yeah.
want to
Just
call it a
noticing is
tool.
enough, right? Is what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to know everything. Like, I don't want to
Too.
do this
Yeah.
for 4 months. Great. Okay. Like fantastic notice. I don't have all the answers. Don't need to know right now. Sure, it'll come to me, or I can figure it out later if I want to.
Yeah.
I just think that awareness piece and that like sitting in a space of not knowing is also gives me this impression too, like from the Knight of Pentacles card is like when there's a comfort around the unknown, which I think could be a whole new
So
podcast, by
hard.
the way.
Yeah,
Like,
for
well,
sure.
yeah, but like truly, like if you're sitting in that space of awareness and awareness can embody just not knowing everything, that's also like comforting. It can help you kind of maybe possibly release overperforming or overthinking and just being like, great, perfect. Look at that
Oh
leaf.
yeah.
Like,
Look at that
wow.
life.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say I totally agree with you. Like if I can get to a place where I'm like, you know what? I'm just don't know and I'm not gonna know. Like, let's move on. Let's move on. It can feel really, really nice when that
Mhm.
happens, when that kind of surrender or like let go
Mm.
happens. But I'm quite stubborn, so it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Like I'll beat something down until I get something out of it for sure. I'll write till fucking 2 in the morning until I
So,
get some tiny little gem. I'm like, I
there
learned
it
something.
is.
There it is. Like crazy.
Which I think that's also perfect. I think that's also so beautiful.
You know, we all
Yeah.
have we all have our thing.
I like to think of a lot of things as creativity, and that's partially because I have fostered
You're
my
an
creativity
artist.
as an artist for my whole life. And creativity comes in waves. Like sometimes you're like, I really
Yeah.
fucking can't right now. Great. Don't
Yeah.
don't try. And then there's other times where you're like, I can't fucking stop. I haven't slept in 18 days. And you're like, great. Like,
So true.
I love a natural rhythm, whatever that may be. If
Yeah,
your
man.
natural rhythm is more consistent, fucking drooling for you, I love that for you. And if it's, completely inconsistent and wild, pointing at myself, love that.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
it's
like an
different for all of us.
honoring. Yeah. And I think there's an honoring of yourself and how you move and how you notice. Like honoring that is
Yeah.
embodiment of slow moving wealth, fantastical building from you energy, like introspection.
Absolutely. Like there's not you're gonna notice in different ways,
Mhm.
like for
We're
some
supposed to.
people it's like an image in their mind. Some
Totally.
people they're like words, it's like a voice. For
Mhm.
some people it's like a feeling in the body. Like it's so different for everybody.
That's
Oh,
cool. How cool is that? And how cool
yeah,
are you? How cool are we all? How
that's so
cool is
cool.
that we're
How
all
cool.
so different? How cool. That's the word of the day.
Yeah,
We're not talking about icy cold cool, although we could be because sometimes I do like the
because I'm
winter
hot as hell.
and hot as hell. She thought she needs some ice.
It's pretty hot in Tennessee. Tell you what.
Yeah, coming to you live from Tennessee and SoCal. Anyhow, this was great. I feel like we've sliced this up like delicious bread you want to eat when it's lunchtime. And if it's gluten free, if you need it to be, that's fine too.
That's a California thing. And if it's gluten-free, it can be. Dude, they don't even effing recycle where I am. I'm in a completely different place now, man. You better look out. You better look
Wow.
out.
Better look out. Can't
I
wait. We
know.
can't wait to hear all the stories if it
Pumped
come up
about it.
on the podcast too.
I'm embracing it. Yeah.
I love it. Well,
All
everyone that's
right.
been listening, we love you all.
I think that's it. Yeah.
And yeah, see you next time.
See you next time. See you next time around. Hopefully my boobs look just as good. They've been looking good this
They
entire
look
time.
great. They look
Mm,
really good.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Thanks.
Do a zoom. Dancing boobs, dancing.
Nice job.